Hi guys, it's Mrs. Cameron here. So sorry that I'm not at school today to get you guys ready for your SAT on Wednesday. But yay, I did go ahead and put together a video so that we can make sure you're getting some practice in. Hopefully, last week you were able to finish going through the first half of our pink packet. And now we're moving on to the module 2 questions for today. And that starts on page 40 of your packet. So if you see here on my screen, I wrote down question number 2, 3, and 4 are all questions that you can use the calculator on. So I would like for you to like circle those or put a star by those. Because I want you to come back to all of these questions where you can use the calculator. So on that first page 40, it's question 2, 3, and 4. On page 41, question 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. The whole page you can use the Desmos graphing calculator to help you answer those questions. Then page 42, we have questions 11 and 12. 11 sort of. Page 43, question 17 and 18, you can use the calculator. Page 44, question number 19 and question number 22. The calculator will help you with both of those. And I don't think I photocopied the last page because we said that's where we were getting into the more difficult questions. But I'll show you guys these on the calculator anyway. So at this time, if you have those 2 questions, go ahead and circle those as well. You can try using the calculator on those. I would like for you to make sure that you have your Desmos graphing calculator pulled up. And I forgot to go in and click on Math Tools, Test Practice, choose Assessment, College Board SAT, right? We want to use the SAT version of the graphing calculator. So at this time, go ahead and pause the video and look through those questions that we marked up that you can use the calculator and try solving some of those questions in about 10 minutes, okay? What can you do in 10 minutes with the calculator and those questions on your own? Then when you unpause the video, we're going to come back and look at those together. All right, guys, got you back from our break. Question number 2 says, a fish swam a distance of 5,104 yards. 5,104 yards. And they want to know, how far did the fish swim in miles? Well, how many miles? So if we go from yards to miles, we're going to have to do what with our 1,760? Add, subtract, multiply, or divide. What would make sense? Should be divide by 1,760 to give you answer choice B for question number 2. $5,104 yards is about 2.9 miles. And question number 3, or it's exactly 2.9 miles. Question number 3, which expression is equivalent to 12x 12x cubed minus 5x cubed. Excuse me. You don't necessarily need the calculator for this because they have the exact same variable with the exact same exponent. So you could just say 12 minus 5 is 7x cubed, right? But you could check that on the calculator by looking at the graphs. 12x to the power of 3 minus 5x to the power of 3 gives us this blue graph here. And if I look at 17x to the power of 3, if I chose answer choice B, you can see it's almost there, but not quite. And I change my 17 to a 7. It's the exact same graph. So we know that if the graphs are the same, then the expressions are equivalent. So C is the correct answer for number 3. And then question number 4. What is the solution to the given system of equations? I'm literally just going to type it in. X plus y equals 18 and 5y equals x. And our solution to our system of equations is where do the two graphs touch? And that's going to be right here where x is 15 and y is 3. So number 4, the answer is A. Sorry if I'm writing kind of shaky here on the screen. Miss Cameron just still really doesn't feel well. Let's see. Okay, next one with the calculator, number 5. The point 82 in the xy plane is a solution to which of the following systems of inequalities? So we want to see, okay, is that point in the shaded region because all of these are inequalities. So what does the graph look like? X greater than 0 and y greater than 0. I'm going to go back home. We want the stuff that gets shaded up twice. Positive 8, positive 2 is in this section here that got shaded up twice. So answer choice A is the answer. If we tried B, the difference is y is less than 0, not greater. Y less. And then the double shaded region that kind of turned purple for my graph would be down here. And 8, 2 would not be in that shaded region. So A is the correct answer. And then next we're taking a look at question number 6. What is one possible solution to the given equation? I'm going to put that straight in the calculator. Your absolute value button is right here. Absolute value of x minus 5. I'm just using my arrow to get my cursor behind that little bar, equals 10. And it's asking, what is one possible solution? Here's a possible solution at -5. If I zoom out, I see another possible solution at 15. So either of those would be correct. I'm just going to put in -5 because that's what I saw first. But positive 15 is equally correct, equally accurate as well. And then next we have question number 7. The function gives the total number of people on a company retreat with X amount of managers. What is the total number of people on a company retreat with 7 managers? Well, there's 7 managers and the managers are X. So we're just going to take this and put in a 7 for the x. And just like we always do when we're putting this in the calculator, I put my, my variable in parentheses so that I can easily see that I'm going to change that x to a 7, and my answer is 50, which is correct. And then up next, we got question number 8. Which table gives 3 values of x and their corresponding values h of x for the given function h? Anytime I see this like h of x, I'm thinking of what letter? Y. I'm always thinking of the graph as x's and y's. So even though it's a function and they want me to think of it as h of x, I'm changing my thinking real quick here, calling those y's. Okay, so y equals x squared minus 3. I hope that you are taking time with me to practice typing these on the calculator and not just watching a math show. You're the one taking this test on Wednesday, right? So you need to make sure that you're able to go fast on this calculator because it is a timed test. So we want to see when x is 1, y is 4. No. When x is 1, y is negative 2. X is 1, y is negative 2. Yes, that's correct. So not negative 1. This also has that point. And then x is 2, y is 1. So we need to look when x is 3. X is 3. Here, when x is 3, y is 6, not 3. When x is 3, y is 6, not 3. So we found our answer is B for number 8 by comparing the graph to the points. And then question number 9. The function f is defined by f of x equals 270 times 1/10 to the power of x. What is the value of f of 0? Same thing as the other question. Again, I'm going to think of my f of x as a y. Y equals 270 times 0.1 to the power of x, and we're going to put in what for x? A 0 for x. And boom, bada boom, 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 whoop. There it is at 270. That's our answer. Number 9, D. I hope you're taking your time to practice on the calculator. If you need to pause the video to type these things into the calculator so you have time to practice, please make sure you do that. Anything I'm putting on my calculator, you should have on yours, especially if you didn't have that answer written on your paper. Question number 11. A moving truck can tow a trailer if the combined weight of the trailer and the boxes it contains is no more than 4,600 pounds. What is the maximum number of boxes this truck can tow in a trailer with a weight of 500 pounds if each box weighs 120 pounds? So we can say, okay, how many 120-pound boxes can we put on a truck if the truck weighs 500 pounds, and it cannot weigh more than 4,600 pounds. It has to be less than or equal to 4,600 pounds. Otherwise, what? It can't go over a bridge or something? Is that what they, I don't know. What? Okay. Maximum for the road. Okay. 120 pounds times how many boxes plus 500 is less than or equal to 4,600. And it says, oh, I don't like your equation you put in. Instead of putting the letter B for boxes, I'm going to change it to an X. And let's see. Let's zoom, zoom, zoom. And it looks like 34.16667 boxes can fit, right? So could I have 34 boxes on my truck? Yes. Could I have 35 boxes on my truck? No, because it would be over the 34.16 repeating. So the answer is going to be A, 34. And then the next one, what is the positive solution to the given equation? So we got negative 4x squared minus 7x equals negative 36. Oops. X. And the positive solution, I got 2.25, which is 9 over 4. Answer choice B. For number 12. And then the next question where we can use a calculator looks like number 17. In the given equation, P is a constant. The equation has no solution. What is the value of P? So I'm going to put this in negative 3x plus 21 P x equals 84. And I'm putting that variable P in parentheses so that I can plug in these numbers till I find the one that gives me no solution. So 0, the calculator tells me there's a solution. 1/7, the calculator tells me there's a solution because it's got the squiggle, right? 4/3, solution, 4, solution. Uh-oh. How do I get the no solution? Let's see. If we put in 1/7, let me see what the fraction one looks like. What does it give me? It says there's a solution somewhere out there, but I don't see it anywhere. 4/3, there's a graph. 0, there's a graph. 4, there's a graph. But 1/7, even though I'm zoomed so far out, there's no graph. So I guess there is no solution here at answer choice B, even though the calculator showed me the squiggle mark there. So for number 17, B is the correct answer. And then number 18, the function f is defined by the given equation. For what value of x does f of x reach its minimum? Excuse me. So we want to look at the graph, and instead of calling that f of x, I'm going to call it y. Y equals x minus 10, x plus 13. Click to the home button, and now I'm going to zoom out, and they want to know for what value of x does f of x reach the minimum. So I want to find the vertex, basically. And we want the x value at the vertex, which is the bottom of the graph. The x value is negative 1.5, which is equal to negative 3/2. And let's see. Next on the calculator, we've got question number 19. The function f of x equals 1/9 x minus 7 squared plus 3 gives a metal ball's height above the ground, f of x in inches, x seconds after it started moving on a track, where x is between 0 and 10. Which of the following is the best interpretation of the vertex of the graph? Okay, let's see, what does that look like? Again, I'm changing f of x to y. One-ninth x minus 7 squared plus 3. Home. There's my graph. And it's asking, which of the following is the best interpretation of the vertex of the graph? So the vertex here tells me that at x is 7, so in 7 seconds, the ball was 3 inches above the ground. In 7 seconds, the ball was 3 inches above the ground. So the metal ball's minimum height was 3 inches above the ground. That's true. The metal ball's minimum height was 7 inches above the ground. No. The metal ball's height was 3 inches above the ground when it started moving. No, it was 8 inches here. 8 inches above the ground when it started moving. And then it was 4 inches above the ground when it stopped, but it was 8 inches at 0 when it started moving. So that's not true. The metal ball's height was 7 inches. No. So answer choice A is the correct one. And let's see, number 22 we can also look at on the calculator. If a new graph of 3 linear equations is created using the system of equations shown, and the equation x plus 4y equals negative 16, how many solutions will the resulting system of equations have? Uh-oh, why won't it let me clear that? What have I done to my mouse? Sorry about that. x plus 4y equals negative 16. So we get this, this graph, which, is it ever going to touch this point over here where x is 8, y is 2? 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, ain't no way. So if this red line was added to this graph over here, it'd be down here, and it would never touch this point up here where the other two lines touch. So if we had those three lines in a system of equations, there would be no solution. So number 22, the answer is A. And then 23, 24, not really stuff for the calculator. 25 we can look at on the calculator though, if you have it copied. If not, it's okay, you can follow along real quick. This is not going to be a long question. And neither is number 27. Number 25, the equation x squared plus y minus 1 squared equals 49 represents circle A. Circle B is obtained by shifting circle A down 2 units in the xy plane. So everything's the same, it's just 2 units down, 2 units down. Which one is the answer? Well, look and see. Try the first one, x minus 2 squared plus y minus 1 squared equals 49. Not it. Answer choice B, y minus 3, x minus 0. Looks like it shifted up to, but not down to. Which makes me want to try answer choice D, y plus 1. Down 2, down 2, down 2. Answer choice D is correct. I'll take out that minus 0 so you can see it. That, yeah, everything shifted down by 2. Answer choice D is correct. How are they putting at the end of the SAT? Like, that's supposed to be a hard question. We just type it in the calculator. Okay, and then number 27, this is very similar to the really easy question we looked at on the very first page of this packet. But now that it's the last question on the test, we know that, oh, this is like, oh, it's the harder version. So we got to find the little trick in it. And it says 210 is p% greater than 30. What is the value of p? Again, I'm going to remember my is over of equals percent over 100. And we're looking for percent. So we're looking for x out of 100. What is the value of p? 210 is what percent of 30? And the way that I'm saying this, right, 210 is what percent of 30, is not exactly the same question as how many times greater is 210 than 30, okay? But it's going to get us close to our answer, and it's easier than looking at the explanation that they give me in the packet here for this, okay? So I'm going to say 210 is over of equals our percent, we're calling x, over 100. And I'm going to zoom way out because 210 is 700% of 30, but how many times bigger than it is it? Well, 30% is already like 100% of it itself, so it's 100 less. So 700 minus 100, it's 600 percent greater is the answer, 600. Final answer there. And if you look on the answer explanation online, they kind of want to give you another formula to memorize, but I think looking at R is over of equals percent over 100 really it gets us to where we want to be. Okay, so now we have gone through and we've looked at over half of these questions, which you're able to use the Desmos graphing calculator to answer your questions. And I hope you're feeling confident on those questions. And now I want you to go back and look at the not calculator questions. And definitely like that first question, question number 1, it's going to be easy. Don't overthink. SAT questions start easy in the math. Each section starts easy, medium, then the hard question's supposed to be at the end, okay? So I want you to look through these questions on your own and see which of the not calculator questions can you answer in the next 10 minutes. So I want you to pause the video for 10 minutes and fill in, try some questions that we haven't answered already. All right, now that I got you back, let's go ahead and look at the questions we skipped. Question number 1, the line graph shows the estimated number of chipmunks in a state park on April 1st of each year from 1989 to 1999 based on the line graph. Which year was the estimated number of chipmunks in the state park the greatest? Where did they have the most chipmunks in the park? In the year 1994. That's all they were looking for on that question. Answered all of those. Then question number 10 next. This one really is like a reading question than a math question. Ooh. To estimate the proportion of a population that has a certain characteristic, a random sample was selected from the population. Based on the sample, it is estimated that the proportion of the population that has the characteristic is 0.49, with an associated margin of error of 0.04. Based on this estimate and margin of error, which of the following is the most appropriate conclusion about the proportion of the population that has the characteristic? It is plausible that the proportion is between 0.45 and 0.53 because the estimate is 0.49 with a margin of error of plus or minus 0.04. And if you take 0.49 plus 0.04, you get the 0.53. If you minus, you get the 0.45. So yeah, it is plausible. Those numbers are correct. It's plausible that the proportion is less than 0.45, not based off of the margin of error. The proportion is exactly 0.49. Maybe, but there's a margin of error, so it's not going to be exactly that. It's plausible that the proportion is greater than 0.53, not based off of our margin of error. Answer choice A. Next, question 13. The table summarizes the distribution of color and shape for 100 tiles of equal area If one of these tiles is selected at random, what is the probability of selecting a red tile? So when we look at the data, we've got how many red tiles? 30. Out of how many tiles? 100. Express your answer as a decimal or a fraction, not as a percent, because I'd want to say 30%. But it's not. We got to say 30 out of 100. But on SAT, I don't think you can type in that many characters. It would have to be 3/10 or 3/10 written as a decimal. You'd have to put it in like this, simplify that fraction, or make that fraction to a decimal. Question number 14. For the given function f, the graph of y equals f of x in the xy plane is parallel to line j. What is the slope of line j? For that, you have to know that parallel lines have the same slope. So what's the slope here? Is the slope 2 or 3? The slope is 2. They're just testing that you know that parallel lines have the same slope, and that from a linear equation in y equals mx plus b form, that you, and slope intercept form, you can identify the slope. Question number 15. A proposal for a new library was included on an election ballot. A radio show stated that 3 times as many people voted in favor of the proposal as people who voted against it. A social media post reported that 15,000 more people voted in favor of the proposal than voted against it. Based on these data, how many people voted against the proposal? So, it was included. A radio show stated 3 times as many people voted for against. So it's 3-1. More people voted for it. 15,000 more people voted in favor of the proposal than voted against it. $15,000 more people voted for it than against it. So we want to say that how many people voted against it. So if it was, let's guess and check. If it was 7,500 voted against it, $7,500 times 3 would be 2,250. I mean, 22,500 is 22,500 minus 7,500 equal to 15,000. It is. Answer choice A is the answer. I like it when I guess and check and I guess right first. Question number 16. In the figure, lines M and M are parallel. If x equals 6k plus 13 and y equals 8k minus 29, what is the value of z? We got to do a little work here. We got parallel lines cut by a transversal, and we got 2 vertical angles here. We know that angle x and angle y are equivalent. So 6k, but I'm changing my k to an x, plus 13 equals to 8k minus 29, because x equals y. Now I know that k equals 21, but K is not Z. I know K equals 21. So if K equals 21, then what's angle X or angle Y? I just need one of them. So 6 times 21, 6x plus 13. So those angles are 139. Makes sense because they look obtuse. So both of them angles are 139, and we got parallel lines cut by a transversal, which means that this angle Y plus angle Z has to add up to 180. So 180 minus 139 leaves us 41 degrees for angle Z, which is the correct answer. And then we answered those on the calculator. Next up, number 20. In triangle JKL, J is a right angle. JKL. And it says J is a right angle. J, K, L. The cosine of K, cosine SOHCAHTOA, it's adjacent over hypotenuse, is 24 over 51. So 24/51. What is the value of the cosine of L? So we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem, which says a squared plus b squared equals c squared. My unknown side here, I'm going to call it x. X squared plus 24 squared equals 51 squared. 51 had to be my c because that's my hypotenuse. Excuse me. So this side is 45, so our answer is going to be 45 over 51. Let me see. Angle J is the right angle and triangle, therefore acute angle. The hypotenuse. Looks like they simplified the fraction on the answer key, but it shouldn't matter. Let's see. 45 over 51. I can get the simplified fraction too just by putting my answer in the calculator and saying, instead of decimal, give me fraction. Does it give that to you on the actual version of the calculator you get on the test? Let me see. College Board SAT practice, 45 over 51, but give me the answer as a simplified fraction. Okay, 45 over 51 or 15 over 17, either way, correct answer. I wouldn't get worry too much about simplifying the fraction on the SAT because it did not specify in simplest terms. Question number 21. In the given equation, b is a positive integer. The equation has no real solution. What is the greatest possible value of b? Since we're looking at a quadratic equation here, in order for there to be no real solution, then the discriminant has to be negative, that part of your quadratic equation. B squared plus or minus the square. Wait, not B. I want to erase. Negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a, right? This little piece right inside here would need to be negative. So in order for me to get that to be negative, what's the biggest number we could put in there? And it's not multiple choice. Negative 676, gotta be less than that. Okay. Instead of saying, well, I'll just leave it as b squared for right now. B squared minus 4ac, okay, where a is -1 and c is negative 676. Change that to x. What would you give me for a graph? 52 and negative 52 and a vertex way down there. Okay, interesting. So if I try to put in 52 here, I get 0. If I try to put in 53, I get a positive number. If I put in 51, negative number. So that is the greatest value I can put in for b and get no solution to that equation. So the answer is 51. Question number 23. The function gives the value in dollars of a certain piece of equipment after X months of use. If the value of the equipment decreases each year by P% of its value the preceding year, what is the value of P? Y equals 5,470 times 64 hundredths to the power of x over 12. And I just So I'm looking at this by the months, but they're asking by the year. Okay. I want to know at 0 months or at 5470. And at 1 month, my value is about 5270. So 5270 is how much of 5470? It's 96%. It's about 4% less. So in 12 months, 12 times 4, 36. It's decreasing about 36% each year. Because each month it's decreasing about 4%. And then number 24, the dot plot represents the 15 values in a data set. In data set A, data set B is created by adding 56 to each of the values in data set A. Which of the following correctly compares the medians and ranges of data sets A and B? So, data set B the median, because there's no 56, or by adding 56 to each of the values in data set A. So just the numbers go up by 56. Okay. So 22 plus 56, 78. So it's going to go from 78, 79, 80, 81, 82. But the dots are all the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1. Okay. So there's data set B. The median of data set B is equal to the median of data set A. No, the median is going to be a bigger number. Not equal. Not equal. The median of B is greater, yes. The median is greater than A. Yes, okay. And the range of data set B is equal to the range of A. Yeah, because it goes up 1, 2, 3, 4. Goes up 1, 2, 3, 4. The range is equal. C. Correct answer. 5. Oh, wow. We made it to the last question. We're on a hard question, number 26. 2 identical rectangular prisms each have a height of 90 centimeters. The base of each prism is a square and the surface area of each prism is k centimeters squared. If the prisms are glued together along a square base, the resulting prism has a surface area of 92 over 47 k centimeters squared. What is the side length in centimeters of each square base? Rectangular prism. So we're looking at a rectangular prism like this, and they don't give you the formula for surface area of the rectangular prism on here, I'm not gonna go into big detail on this question. It's the last one. Answer is B, and we're just gonna sit there with that for now. If you want to go into more detail with this question, catch me in class on another day. I hope that you are really ready for your SAT on Wednesday. And as always, I am rooting for you, Cobra. This is Mrs. Cameron, and I will catch you later. Bye.